So now I'm going to show you 5 of the most useful knots. I will show you the timber hitch, the taut line hitch, the taut tarp knot, the bowline and the clove hitch. So the first knot I'm going to show you is the timber hitch. For this knot, you take your end of your line, or your rope, a line is just another word for a rope, around, and then, so when we're talking about ropes, we talk about the standing end and the working end. So this is my working end. You take the working end around the standing part and you make a loop, and then you tuck this part round at least 3 times. And it's ideal if it gets round to the back of the tree, but it doesn't have to, especially if it's a big tree. And then you just cinch it tight. And it's the load on the rope that keeps this knot safe. So this knot isn't intrinsically safe, just like this. It's safe in the fact that it's being pulled. And this rope it's called a timber hitch, so it can be used for pulling logs along the ground. It's also really useful for making the ridgeline or the pole line of a tarp, so I would fasten this other end somewhere else. And what's great about this knot is it's super easy to do, and it's also really easy to undo when it's not under load. It's really easy. You just do this and it can come undone. And this is an incredibly easy knot to teach children as well. All it involves going across here and being tucked in. And there's not really a whole lot that can go wrong with this knot. You want to just make sure it's nice and cinched tight. Okay, so now I will show you how to tie a taut tarp knot. This knot is really useful for where you tied a timber hitch on one end, and then you come across to your second tree and you want to have your tarp line really tight. So you come around the tree, and at this point you loop back. So I've got quite a short end here, that's useful. And then here you can pull it really tight. This allows you to cinch it really tight. And then you come around again, and at this point you can go over it here, and see each time I'm doing it, this line is getting tighter. So 2 is enough, but you can do more. So I'm going to do 3 because I've just got a bit of extra rope here. So now, each time you do it, you're tightening your tarp line. So this is really quite taut now. So it's the taut tarp knot because it's tightening this line here. So to finish it off, you have here, if you consider this a triangle, so I come up underneath, so you consider this as a triangle, you take a loop here and you put it through the triangle, and then you take your end and you come through the loop here, and you can just make sure that's nice and tight. And that is safe to undo, so if a child comes along and pulls on this, they're not going to undo your tarp line. Okay, now I will show you how to tie a bowline. It's also sometimes known as a bowline. So this knot is really useful knot for attaching 2 things. So here I've got an alpine butterfly knot, which I've shown how to do in another video, but I'm just using it as my attachment point. So this might also be the attachment point on a tarp. You push the working end through here, then you've got your standing end and you do a loop in it, and you come through down there, round the back of this standing end. This is kind of like the tree, round the tree, and then back up through this point. So you should be able to see this loop here, and this comes up the top, and then you just pull it till it's tightened. So the advantage of the bowline is that you've got this loop that's independent and safe, and it's also actually really easy to undo even if it's been under quite a lot of tension. So you can just easily undo it. And I would use this knot as the attachment point for a tarp line, like the tent peg lines of the tarp, or I might use it if I want to attach another piece of rope to jungle gym or something like that. So now I'm going to show you how to do a taut line hitch. This is a really useful adjustable knot for something like a guy line coming down to a tent peg. So I'm going to have a knot here that allows me to adjust this. So in order to tie the taut line hitch, you go around your tent peg, and then I make like quite a big loop so I can see what I'm doing. And I go in once, and then again. So I've got two turns around, and I can let go of this now. And then I make another loop above it, so above it here, and go down, and then tighten that. So now you can see that there's 2 below and 1 above, and this knot is now adjustable. If you pull on this standing line here, you can adjust it quite tightly, and you can loosen it again. So that is the taut line hitch. Another really useful knot is the clove hitch. This is also an adjustable knot. So to do the clove hitch, you make bunny ears. So I'm going my right hand over my left hand like this, and then holding, and then doing exactly the same again. You can go left over right, as long as you do the same. So I'm going right hand over left to make my bunny ears. And then I've got my bunny ears, and then I slide the one on top. So this one is on top, which my right hand under my left, and then this is your secure knot. So I go right over left, and then again right over left. Now you've got your 2 bunny ears, and what you do is you slide the right one behind the left one. What's happening here is the top one, this one is above this one, is going behind. If you do this, it will just come apart. So you need to make sure the one above is going below the other one, and then this, when you tighten it, will become really secure. And this is an adjustable knot, so you can adjust it quite easily. Not quite as easily as the taut line hitch, but the good thing about this one is that these are now 2 independent ropes, and you could use this one to string up to another point if you needed to, without, if that one broke for some reason, it wouldn't affect this one. I hope you've enjoyed learning about these really useful knots, and that you enjoy practicing them both in the woods and at home.